I'm very pleased to be speaking with you today at this event, which both marks the 17th of July and also addresses a very important topic, the question of Nepal's possible future ratification of the Rome Statute. And I want to commend the organizers for convening this meeting. For the ICC, Nepal's ratification of the Rome Statute would be a very significant step in strengthening the international criminal justice system. And so I'm very glad that this topic has been, in a way, revived, or the discussion has been revived through this webinar. Not because the ICC specifically thinks that Nepal is somehow more important than other countries. All countries are important. I mean, we would like to see all countries join the ICC. We have 123 states parties, so about 2/3 of the world's sovereign states. But it also means that there are still about 70 states that have not joined, and so there are kind of bricks missing from what we could call sort of the structure of international criminal justice, and with every country that joins, that structure becomes stronger. I would like to stress at the beginning that I'm not here to give any view on what happened in the 1996-2006 conflict in Nepal, and I have no authority to do that. The ICC has no jurisdiction over that conflict. And as a representative of the ICC, I cannot give any view on what happened, what should be done about that conflict, whether something was a crime or not. I'm here to talk about the future, really. The ICC is first and foremost about the future. And this brings me to the first sort of theme I want to address, which is the benefits of joining the Rome Statute, or why do countries join the Rome Statute? And in my opinion, the most important reason is that joining the Rome Statute is one of the most important measures that any country can take to prevent some of the most serious crimes from happening in the future. Nepal has gone through a conflict that has caused huge suffering to its people. And I think everyone would like to avoid anything similar happening in the future. And most conflicts come with a lot of very tragic suffering in different forms. And again, joining the Rome Statute is a concrete tool for assurances of non-repetition, or to avoid and prevent and to deter future crimes. Why? Because when you join the Rome Statute, it is a signal to anybody, whether it's outside your country or within your country. It's a signal that if anyone, were to think of committing crimes against humanity or genocide or war crimes in the territory of our country against anyone belonging to our people, then you would be potentially liable for prosecution, either in our own courts or, failing that, in the ICC. So it's a signal to any potential future perpetrator that justice would be done. There would be, your crimes would not go unpunished. So it's a deterrent effect that the ICC brings. It's a signal that says, don't even think of committing such crimes. So that is one important message: deterrence of future crimes. It's a future-oriented system that you put in place, rule of law, justice, to prevent future crimes from happening. A second point I want to make, or the second benefit, is that joining the Rome Statute sends a powerful foreign policy statement to the world. It shows that our country is committed to international peace and security. We're committed to the protection of human rights. We're committed to respecting international law. And we want to be an active, positive participant in the international system, a global system where countries come together to build a common system of rule of law that helps prevent future crimes, but also to bring justice for victims of crimes in any part of the world. And indeed, it also, joining the Rome Statute, shows solidarity with victims of the most serious crimes happening anywhere in the world, because you're strengthening an international system for addressing those crimes, regardless of where they happen. Another benefit of joining the Rome Statute system is that you become an active member in a club of states, so to speak, which now has 123 states that are committed to the rule of law, justice, strong states with strong national justice systems, states that are committed to democracy, and you become an active participant in this club. And the ICC has what is called the Assembly of States Parties, and every country that joins the Rome Statute becomes a full member of that assembly. And so the state party can then vote on important decisions, such as electing the officials of the ICC. A state party can also put forward candidates for the top positions in the ICC, such as judges. And for instance, in 2 years from now, new judges will be elected to the ICC, and there will be, in principle, 2 spots for candidates from the Asian and Pacific group of states. So it's an opportunity for any country that is a member to put forward their top lawyers for that position. Also, it improves the chances of any nationals of that state, in this case it will be Nepal, to become a staff member of the ICC, because in recruitment the ICC gives always priority to people from the countries that have ratified the Rome Statute. So it's it opens career opportunities for lawyers. I think those are the main benefits that I wanted to highlight, and I'll try not to take much more time, but there are a few more points that I want to make. I've seen already that many important facts about the ICC have been very well already reflected in the discussion, but I want to still underline some of them. One is non-retroactivity. This means that the moment a country joins the Rome Statute, let's imagine that if Nepal tomorrow were to ratify the Rome Statute, it would become a state party 2 months afterwards, and then on the first day of the month, so on the 1st of October, in this theoretical scenario, Nepal would become a state party to the Rome Statute. The ICC would have jurisdiction over any crimes committed in Nepal from that day onwards into the future, but not to the past. So again, joining the ICC, ratifying the Rome Statute would not give the ICC any powers to look into anything that happened in Nepal in the past. So joining the Rome Statute it's not a tool for settling, old scores. It's really a tool for building a strong system of the rule of law for the future, a strong system to ensure peace, security, justice in the future. That is, so the non-retroactivity is really very clearly expressed in the Rome Statute in several places, actually. Because I know that in many countries it's a big question, and I want to be very clear about this. Another point I want to make is that the ICC is not a human rights court. It is a criminal court which can investigate and prosecute individuals suspected of having committed genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, or the crime of aggression. So when I say that it's not a human rights court, this means that the ICC cannot hold governments or states responsible for human rights violations. It can only prosecute individuals. It also means that the ICC does not monitor human rights situations in the world. It also means that governments do not have to submit any kind of reports to the ICC. It's not like many human rights bodies where you have to report periodically. There are no reporting requirements. And these are all, I think, important things to know. And sometimes these are good arguments to make to governments, which may be worried that, oh, this will create a lot of burden for us. It will be too much work for us. No, joining the ICC does not create work for you. The main obligations of a state party are, first of all, to cooperate fully with the ICC if the ICC requests some cooperation. And secondly, to participate in funding the court. It's done in a similar way as funding the UN. And in the case of Nepal, the annual contribution to the budget would be quite modest because we use the same scale of assessment as the UN, where the large and rich countries pay a lot, and smaller and developing countries pay much less to the budget. And I think I had one final point to make, but now it is eluding me. Oh, yes, it is this. So complementarity. It was already mentioned, but this means that usually states that join the Rome Statute, they're happy to do so because they have faith in their own courts, that their own justice system functions well. And indeed, even when you join the ICC, it still remains in the first place the job of each country's own courts and own police and prosecutors tackle any genocide, crimes against humanity, or war crimes that may happen, hopefully not, but if they happen on your territory. And only if the country does not do that, only then the ICC can step in. But again, in the case of Nepal possibly joining the ICC, which we would love to see, the ICC would only have jurisdiction from that day into the future, not into the past. I think I'll stop there so I don't take too much time, but I would be happy to answer any questions if there are some. Thank you very much again for the invitation to be with you.